Hi Sonia, I'm going to record some feedback for you on your first draft. This looks really good so far. My first comment is with your title. I think you could make your title a bit more interesting to grab the attention of parents. Advice is actually an uncountable noun, and so we don't have a plural form. So just advice for parents to support their children when moving to a different country. When a family is relocating to a completely different country, they might face some difficulties, especially for the kids. Great introduction, really clear, and you've understood the context really well. The difficulties they may have. Here you put such as, and then we would expect you to say something more about these. So it might be better for you to say the difficulties they may have are things such as language barriers, education problems, and cultural differences. In the following texts, I don't think you actually mean text here. And this one will be provided. You've used the passive form here, which distances yourself, but actually you're the one who's going to be giving the advice. So I think it might be better if you just say, please see some important advice below, or something like that lets them know that there is some advice coming, but actually that you are the one giving it, or otherwise you could say something like, I'd like to give you some advice below. When the kids, here you're actually talking about general, you're not referring to specific children, so I think it would be better if you just use when kids without an article are facing a new language. We face a challenge, you can say are facing the challenge of learning a new language. They must feel scared. They must is quite strong. It'd be better to say they may feel scared as your modal verb there. They may feel scared about it. They feel scared about something. Parents can find a place where foreigners, again we don't need the because it's not a definite article, gather to help kids feel more comfortable. We don't need the definite articles unless you're referring to specific children. And the second point, parents, again it's general, not specific parents. Parents should always tell their kids to be proud of themselves and at the same time, should also be respectful to others. When moving to a new place, they must be unfamiliar with the culture. Here I think you're still talking about the children, but I think it'd be better if you make it a little bit more specific. So we're moving to a new place, kids, and again must is a very strong modal verb. Something less certain like may would be more appropriate here. Kids may be unfamiliar with the culture. Parents should find an elder. Who do you mean by elder here? Do you just mean a person who's able to speak English? Here we talk about somebody being capable, but when we talk about what they're capable in, then we normally talk about able ability. So a person who is able to speak English, and introduce them to the Taiwanese culture. You can't say Taiwan here because you're using it as an adjective to describe the culture. If kids are completely unfamiliar with a new place, and the parents, and you, because you're addressing the parents, and you do not, because it's not past tense, it's a present tense, a general statement, you do not expect the kids to fit in with Taiwanese culture, again as an adjective. You can consider sending because you're addressing the parents, your kids, to an international or bilingual school. You can take your children to travel in Taiwan and to get used to living here, because you're the one speaking and it's clear that you're talking from a Taiwanese perspective. In conclusion, there are many ways to assist children when relocating to a new place. What you're bringing next is actually another statement, so I think it'd be better to separate it with a full stop. When the age of the kids is younger, or just when the kids are younger, it would be easier to let them or to help them to fit into the new environment. Still, there are several difficulties all kids of all ages will face, and the best way to help children to fit in is to support them. This is really good. You've got a clear structure with a title, introduction, bullet points, and then conclusion. Think about the title, how you can make it more interesting. And think about your address. Who are you talking to? If you're talking to the parents, you should be using a you and a your throughout, and then talk about their kids. But on the whole, this is a really good first draft. Well done.